Hello everyone and welcome to Tipsy, where we provide you with top tips, tricks and strategies that you can actually use to improve your chances of winning by up to 100%. So if you're new to this channel, please consider hitting the like and subscribe button and enable the notification bell icon so as to receive new post notifications and updates. And for more details, do not forget to check the links in the description of this video. Without wasting any much time, let's dive directly into our today's episode. So in our today's episode, we are going to be introducing you to another tricky way that you can actually use to predict basketball matches for the best possible picks, and the tips that you can actually apply to come out with the best choices for 100% win. So please make sure to follow this tutorial to the end, because they are very important steps that you actually need to implement them as we show you in this video. And also, this video is actually in request of some of our subscribers who have actually requested that we do a video on this topic. So we are also asking all of you watching this video, if you have a particular request or what kind of video on which topic that you actually want us to do for you so that you can learn something from it, then please make sure to leave your comment below this video, and we'll do our every possible best to make sure that we do that particular video and upload in this channel so that you can benefit and others will also benefit on it. So that being said, let's dive directly into our today's episode. So today we are going to be introducing you to a tricky method to find the best basketball picks and predict basketball matches for 100% win. So the first step that you actually want to take is to make sure that you navigate to your Play Store, locate it, and try to click on it directly. And you are going to be taken into the dashboard, where at the top of this area, you are going to type SofaScore, because the app that we are actually going to be using in this tutorial is actually SofaScore. So this is the app here. Just make sure to type SofaScore at the top of this area and click on search, and you are going to be displayed with this result. This is how it actually looks like from the inside. You can see that it actually looks like this from the inside. And once as you have successfully installed the app, what you will need to do next is to make sure that you open it to see how it looks like from the inside. Just click on open and you are going to be taken by default inside of this area. Once as you are here, the first step that you actually want to take is to make sure that you come to this section that says football as by category. Make sure to make use of this drop-headed arrow. Click on it and switch the spot to basketball, as you can see here. Just choose basketball and it's going to be switch. Now we are on basketball section, and the next step that you actually want to take is to also make use of this calendar. This calendar you can see here, you can touch on the calendar and predict matches based on given dates, as you can see here. But in this tutorial, actually, we want to show you some tricky method to use to find picks. So in this case, we are not going to use a calendar. What we are instead going to do is to make use of this sidebar icon that is actually here. These three strips that you can see here, there is a small three stripes here. Just tap on it and you scroll down until you are going to see a section that says dropping out. Here, when you locate that area, just make sure to click or choose on it, and you are going to be displayed with these options. Once as you are here, what you are going to see, that you are going to see dropping odds, as you can see here, as we have chosen. You are going to see some matches that will be displayed to you on various categories. Here on these matches, in this case today, we actually have about 3 matches or 4 matches, as you can see here. This is the first match, this is the second. Let's go back. This is the first, this is the second, this is the third, and this is the fourth. So we have 4 games that have actually been displayed to us. So we actually want to make use, first of all, to analyze these first 4 games and see what picks we can actually come out with. So this is a trick here. When you see a game, when you see games like this, what you actually want to look at, you want to look at how the percentages of dropped have actually, the percentages of how it has been dropped. So in this case, all this one is yellow. But what you need to do as a first step here is to click on a particular game. As here, I will choose the first one, and it's going to take us here. Once as we are here, what we want to do next is to make sure that we just navigate to this area that says matches. just click on matches, and you just scroll right down at the bottom, and you're going to locate a section that says odds. This is our interest. Once you see odds, you are going to see a particular game or all of the games, both of the teams that are actually wanting to play. All of them will be displayed here. But if you see only one single, it means it is actually the favorite that they have actually choose. But in the rate of winning, you can see that it actually wins at 55% with an odds of 1.83. So our interest is to tap this drop down headed arrow to read what we have inside there. We are going to see that when the odds are actually 1.8, the expected chance of winning is 55%, but this team actually wins 29%. Just avoid it, because if a team can win at 55%, but now it is now winning at 29%, it means it doesn't have a good form. And even though the up has dropped, if we go here and choose this game as favorite, we are going to miss this game. So just avoid it and go back to the next. Repeat the same process here. Click on the game of the same process. Just click here on the second match game and just come to this area that says matches. Click on matches and go down to locate the area that says odds. Once as you are on the odds section, what you want to do is to still tap this drop headed arrow, and it's going to display to you. Here we are going to see that when the odds are 1.12, the expected chance of winning is 89%, but this team actually wins 89 matches with this odd. It means this particular match is actually this particular team has maintained its form, and being in good form is going to tell us already that at this time, with an odd of 1.12, it wins, it's played at 89%, and it still have a very form. In this case, we are going to choose this game as one of our game, or one of our match to include in our list. And secondly is to check if this team is actually playing at home or is playing at the way, to see if we have even more chances. By coming to this area that says details, click on details, and you are going to see the match. This is it here. It's a match between Virginia playing versus Minnesota. You can see that Virginia is playing home and Minnesota is playing away. In this case, the home they are telling you that is a favorite and is going to win an odd of 1.12 as compared to its opponent with an odd of 6.75. So we already know that in this match, we are choosing the home team as the win because it has a more form, it is better, and this is one of our game that we have actually located. We are going to go back again to this area. In this case, we already have one match that we will include in our slip, and it's a 100% win based on what we are looking at. We are going to go to the next, that's the third game here. Click on it and open it and perform the same action by coming to match. Go down to locate the odds and see what we have right from the odds section. In this case, or in this match, we don't have any area where we can see the odds and read what they have. In this case, when you see something like this, just go back and avoid it, because we don't have a place where we can read to see what actually is the inline the storyline, or what they are going to tell us what happens. Just go back and go now to the next, which is the Washington. No, this is actually now to the next one. Click on it and try to see how it looks like. Just go to matches again, scroll down and locate where we are going to see odds. Of course, this is odd here. In this case, we have odd, and because we have odd, we can see that the two teams have actually been displayed here. In the first, we have Ferro-Carril playing at a rate of 74%, winning at odds of 1.35 as compared to its opponent that have been given 3.05 odd to win, and it's played at the rate of 33%. So we already know that from the lookings, this Ferro-Carril has a more advantage as compared to its opponent, Comunicación. You can see this is a team here, Ferro-Carril playing versus Comunicación. So we already know that Ferro-Carril is a favorite based on the odds area that we have seen on this area. So now what we want to do next is to click on this drop headed arrow by the side of each of the logo of the team. Just click on it and a particular writing will be displayed to you. Do the same for the opponent. So now we are going to see that when the odds is 1.35, the expected chance of winning is 74%, but this team actually wins 83% match with this odds. So this is already to tell you, if a team can win at 73%, but now it can actually win at 83%, it's telling you that its form has actually increased. And being a better form, now we are still going to check, it is now a better form, and we already know that it's already one of our match that we have actually find, but we'll confirm this by reading at its opponent preview. The preview of its opponent is saying that when the odds are 3.05, the expected chance of winning is 33%, but this time the team actually wins at 20% match with this odds. In other words, its opponent, instead of winning at 33%, is now winning at 20. It means its form has dropped from 33 to 20, which is an advantage for Pharaoh Kari, who is from 74 to 83, who have instead increased in form. This time, we already know that this is the second match we have located. We also want to check on details to see if the team is playing home or away. Pharaoh Kari is playing home, you can see it here, and its opponent is playing away, which means that having a better form, having more chances of winning, and again is playing home, it is the best chance that is going to take that home advantage, and therefore this team is going to win. That is the second match we have actually located. So we have actually already find two matches that we can include in our slip at an odds of 1.35. The first one that we saw was 1.12. This one is 1.35. If you join the two games, that's already giving you about 1.40 something or 1.50. So that's a good odds. Now we are still going back again to find another game to see how we can add to form about few games on our slip. We'll go back again and see that in this case now, no matches are displayed to us. But in some cases, we'll have a lot of games that will be displayed on this dropping odds section that you can see here. But in this case, because already most matches have already played, now we just have few, which means that whenever you want to come here, make sure you come here earlier and you are going to see a lot of games displayed to you. You will follow the same method that we have showed you to pick out best possible games. After that has been done, the next step that you want to take is to come to this section here that says trending odds. Click on trending odds and you are going to see some list of games that will be displayed to you. So you can see that from the trending, we have about 4 games here too. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. We have 4 games displayed on trending odds. We will still also want to find games on trendings to see how we can pick out some games to include from the 2 that we have already picked. So here what we are going to do is to click this drop-headed arrow that you can see here to read the preview. Just click on it and see what we have. When the odds is 3.65, the expected chance of winning is 27%, but this team actually wins 63% matches with this odds. In other words, they are telling you that this team is favorite with a higher percentage. It has increased in form, but of course, you are not going to conclude here. What you are going to do is to tap directly on the game. As you can see here, just click on it directly to open the game so as to see both of them in the match section from the odds that are being displayed. Click on it and go down to locate where you are going to see odds. This is it here. We have odds here. In this case, both of the team have odds displayed here. This one having odds of 1.3 as to win with percentage of 77. Its opponent has 3.65 to win with percentage, having a win percentage of 27. We are not going to conclude there. We are going to tap this drop-headed arrow of both to see what preview they actually have. Now, we are going to see that from this one, which is actually the favorite based on odds. When the odds are 1.30, the expected chance of winning is 77%, but this team actually wins 71%. In other words, its form is dropping. So you are going to see it from here, from the inside. If the odd is dropping and is playing with its opponent, we know that now the odd has dropped from 77 to 71. That's with a difference of 6. So we are going to read the next preview. When the odd is 3.65, the expected chance of winning is 27%, but this team actually wins 63%. It means the form of its opponent is increasing very highly. In this case, its opponent will want to win this match as the best possible way as possible. So in this kind of game, though the odds here for its opponent is small and is showing promising, always please try to avoid this kind of game, especially when a game is played with an opponent whose odds winning chances is 27, but actually it starts to win at a very high percent. This is the kind of game where you come to choose this game that the favorite odd as 1.30 to win, and you see at the end of the day, the opponent end up beating the team. So when you see this kind of thing, please just avoid it. Don't even take it. Just skip it and go to the next. Here in the next, you can see here, this is the next game. We are still trying to look for which game to include in our slip. We are going to click this drop-headed arrow to see what they have as a preview. When the odds is 1.83, the expected chance of winning is 55%, but this team actually wins 71% match with this odds, which means it is great. But we are not going to conclude there. We are going to open these matches between these two by clicking on the game directly, and we are going to be taken inside of here. Once we are there, just move to matches, and from there, we are going to scroll right down here to the area where we are going to locate the odds. You can see odds here. From the odds section, you can see that as a percentage, this one is winning, is giving 2 odds and is winning at a rate of 50% as compared to its opponent that have been giving 1.83, winning at percentage of 55%. So now we are going to open both of these drop down headed arrow to read the preview to see how we can conclude from there. When the odds are 2, the expected chance of winning is 50, but this team actually wins 46. It means the form is dropping from 50 to 46. It means we are not going for this particular match as a winning team. We are going to read the next one. When the odds are 1.83, the expected chance of winning is 55, but this team actually wins 71. In other words, this team is actually improving it in its form. But now we are going to look at the odds. The odds is too big. 1.83 means it's too big. So when you want to go for a particular game in a straight win, please always look at an odds of between 1.10 to 1.35. And when it's between that range, even if the team is playing away, you can still take it as a straight win because it has a very great form. But now the odds here is very big, and we are going to now check the details to see if this team is actually playing home or away. If the team is playing away, avoid the game because it is playing away, and its opponent will want to do every possible best to make sure that it also win this match to impress, as well as to make sure that it defends. So we are going to check at the details. To do that, you have to come to details section here. Just scroll and come to these details. Let's click on it to see if the team is playing home or away. Here you can now see that the favorite team is actually playing away with an odds of 1.8. It means it is risky to actually choose it as a winning team. And if you choose it with an odds of 1.8, it might not end well. And these are the kind of games that makes you to end up losing your sleep. So we are going to skip that and go back from where we started, and we are moving to the next game. This is the next here. We are going to read the preview again by touching this drop down headed. Now we are going to see that when the odds is 1.74, the expected chance of winning is 57, but this team actually wins 68 matches with this odds. In other words, it shows from this preview from the first head that it is improving. But we are not going to conclude there until we click on both game to see from the inside and the section where it says matches. From here, choose matches and try to go right down to see from the area where they have actually located the odds, and we read on the both previews. Now, when the odds are 1.74, the expected chance of winning is 57%, but this team actually wins 68. In other words, it is improving as compared to its opponent, where if the odds are 2.15, the expected chance of winning is 47, but the team actually wins 42% match with this odds. In other words, its opponent is also decreasing in form. Why this team with an odds of 1.7 is increasing its form, this opponent is decreasing its form, which means it's an advantage of this particular team as its form is increasing. And it's a match between Toronto playing versus Cleveland. Now we are going to, since we already know that the favorite based on everything from the favorite is actually based on form increase, is actually Toronto. We now want to check if it is playing home or away. From there we can actually conclude, and because the odds is also very big, we have to make sure that Toronto must be at home before we can even consider if we are going to choose it as one of our teams to include in our sleep. So we'll go to details and try to check if Toronto is playing home. Yes, Toronto is playing home, and because it's playing home, that's an upper hand. And because the odds is too big, we are going to see that it is big, yes, but because it's playing home, we can even go, if we see that the odds is too big, we can go for Toronto to either win or draw, which means a shifty chance. That's the best possible pick in this match. So if you add this as a shifty chance to our sleep, we are going to have a third game, which will even give us an odds of about, from the 3 games, if we combine the odds, that's already about 2 odds from the 3 games that we have taken. And we'll go back again and see if the last one that is actually here, we'll click on this drop headed arrow to make sure that we read the preview too. When the odds are 1.56, the expected chance of winning is 64, but this team actually wins 33% match with this odd. It means it is dropping, but we cannot conclude there unless we open this match by clicking on it and see what it looks like from the inside. On the match category section, click on it and go right down to locate odds. When you see the odds, as you can see here, it is here that we are going to conclude by making sure that we open both previews from the 2 Just click on both to see the preview. It is from here that we are going to conclude. Now, when the odds are 1.56, the expected chance of winning is 64, but this team win 33. That's a drop, which means we cannot choose that team. As well, the opponent, when the odds is 2.25, the expected chance of winning is 44, but this team actually wins 45. Only one increase in percentage. That's not a big deal. It's not a big difference from 44 to 45. There is no increase in form. 0 or 1 or 2 is that's not a great form increase. So in this case, we are not going to choose any game here. We are just going to make sure that we avoid that. And once we have done that, in this way that we have done, we have already come out with 3 good matches that we can include in our slip. It doesn't end there. We can come to this section that says top head to head. Click on top head to head, and you are going to see that here we have 2 matches. Here from the 2 matches, we can still come and open each and every one of them and check from the odd section. If they actually meet our need, then we can actually include them again in our slip. We are going to go with this first one by clicking on it directly. And once we click on it, we just come to match section, click on match, let's locate now on the odd and see from the odd section if we are going to include that also in our list. And if it meets, then we'll make sure that it's included in our list. So here you can see that it's actually, we don't have anything like, it's a kind of past match thingy. When you see a thing like this, just go back and now come, okay, this is a top head to head. What we want to do is now look from these 2. We are going to see that this is actually the 13th position in this one. Let's go back. Let me go back. I've actually let's go back to dropping out. We're here on top head to head. So from here we can see that from the numbers we have 13 and 7 from this first team that is up here. 13 and 7. We have 11 and 9. We have 11 and 9. There is no big difference. So we'll just avoid the top head to head. Let's go to the next. We just better choose top team strike. As you can see here, when you tap on top team strike, what you want to do is they are going to display to you all the top teams that are actually striking in this category, in this particular basketball category of game. So the first here is actually KK Metalak, which is 9 on 9, which means it's a good performing team. You can also come and pick team based on individual team here, based on the rate of their winning. As you can see, these numbers that are actually from the side of this area. Now the first, we are going to choose this one as the first. Click on it, and when you click on it, they are going to show you how this team actually perform. You can see they are really great. They are winning a lot as displayed on this chart of green, 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 and they are lose only 1. And you see they have actually, they win very highly. So now when you scroll down, you can see that the feature match that they are actually going to play next is here. And from here, when you see it, just click on it directly, and you are going to be taken from the inside. From the inside, just locate the match area, click on it, and when you click on it, it will display to you like this. Just go down and locate where you can actually see odds. Find the odds section. Let's go down and locate, where can we look for where you can locate the odds. In this case, we don't have the place where they have located the odds. So when you see a case like this, just make sure to go back and go to the next match like this. Just go back again and now choose the next like this. Choose the next. Come to where you can see this featured match. You can see the featured match is here. The game is actually here. It's actually red. You can see this is it here. Try to locate it from below here. Click on it directly, and when you click on it directly, just make sure to come to this section that says matches. Try to see if you locate odds. If you don't locate the odds, go back 1 step behind. Repeat the same process until you are going to see a game where they have actually located the odds, and use the same procedure to make sure that, okay, this one is actually in the 2 days ahead. Just click on it. This is the match here. Let's see if we are going to see odds. Let's go to matches. If we go to matches, we try to scroll down. Let's see, head to head. Let me go down. We don't have odds here. Let me see. Okay, if it's in the case where you don't see the exact odds where you can actually find from the preview, you can use standings as well. When you see at the standings, just come to the standing section and see the 2 games on standings, and from the standing you can use how they are actually on the standing table and their performance to actually predict and will come out with the best choice. By seeing that this team, you can see this one has played 10 matches, winning all the 10, losing none. The difference is this: you can read from the standings and actually know which is actually the best in its performance. And when it comes to standing, to choose on the standing, the team must be very great in stance and its opponent must be below of the table so that it has a more power than its opponent. We are going to scroll back again to make sure that we select another team to see if we can see from odd. If not, we check from the standings. Like this case, Chiba Jet, I will click on it. Then from there, I will go to downward area where it says featured match. I will click on the featured match and check if I'm going to see from odds from the match section. Click on it and I'll scroll down to see if I'm going to see from odds. Here again, we still have past matches. The odd has not been displayed. In this case, we'll come only to the standings to see how they actually here on stands. You can see Chiba is actually in the first position in his stands. Its opponent is actually in the 6th position. Chiba has played 13 matches, winning 10, lose 3, and you can see the difference of 161. Then instead, its opponent has played 13. They have actually win 4, lose 9, and is instead a negative value, minus 98. In other words, this Chiba has plus 161, is very high, and we therefore going to say that Chiba is going to win. When we see Chiba is going to win, now we are going to check the details. If Chiba is playing home, we are going to see that the winning will be very short because the home performance will be there. We are going to come now to details, click on details and check if it's playing home or away. Chiba is actually playing away, you can see. Though it is playing away, but it is having a very great performance. So we are actually going to go for Chiba to win as a straight win here. In cases where you have, the match to be at home, it is even a more additional advantage. In this case, Chiba is away, but it has a very high percentage. So we are actually going to go for Chiba to win. If we choose this match, it's going to make our 4th game on our list and the odd is going to increase. So this is how you can actually use this strategy to come up with the best possible picks when it concerns basketball predictions. So thank you very much for watching. Do not forget to like, comment and subscribe and enable the notification bell icon to receive new post notifications and updates, and see you again in our next episode. Bye bye.
And now I know my heart is a ghost town.